Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, third-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys face off with Andrew Luck in the Indianapolis Colts. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach from the heartland of America, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their now healthy quarterback at 29 years of age in his 7th season out of Stanford, Andrew Luck.
And while he won't admit it because his team lost the game, he had some fun in the last one.
He threw for over 400 yards.
I mean, there's no getting around it. As a QB, yeah, okay. We lost the game, but boy, that felt good flinging it around. Now he's got to figure out how to do the exact same thing, yet turn it into a win.
They go play action here on first down. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. On first down, Luck toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Ryan Grant, the intended target, and it's 2nd down. Here's the offense, and if you're the defense, Charles, you really have to focus on that guy that's highlighted on the screen.
You're talking about pure speed. T.Y. Hilton can get down the middle of the field and really stretch a defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On 2nd and 10, Locke. That is incomplete. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll fake it. Now Luck. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be brought out by a man who hails from Sulphur, Louisiana, played his college ball at Mississippi State, the quarterback Dak Prescott.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Luck. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Tyrone Crawford. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. We want to be it's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 18 carries, 96 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now. Number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Throwing, Prescott. He's got the connection to Colt Beasley. Shifts by at the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
On 2nd down, here's Love. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Love. And he's got his man, Hilton. Hilton's first catch, good for a 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3-and-out. Here's Matt. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Off of play action. Luck. Throw left side complete. It's Doyle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
From the gun on third down, Luck. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. And now not a good sign here. Andrew Luck still down. Just hope it's not a re-aggravation of last year's injuries. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the 2nd year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
A second down throw for Prescott. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 14-0 is our score. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 3rd and short yardage, Prescott. He's going to launch this thing, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play here for Dallas. 53 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 right at the 20. A first down carry by Elliott. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. John Simon in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often, all those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more, anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
A run by Mack to start the drive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here we go!
Staying on the ground with Mack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give a little bit of help.
Now Brissett. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
46.
A second down throw for Prescott. He's going to let this one go deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Prescott now. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Brissett now on 2nd down. Ebron caught left side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. On 1st and 10, Brissett. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And in the air once more, it's Brissett. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Timeout defense.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. They'll run with Mack, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. He's going to wind up and air it out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he lets it go deep for Flavors. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there just before halftime. And even 50 yards. Final play of the half, Prescott. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up in the Meadowlands. The G-Men hosting Tennessee at MetLife Stadium. And it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Marcus Mariota. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they trail the visiting Green Bay Packers as that one's gone to halftime. Aaron Rodgers with 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Lions. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
This is taken at the 3. Ooh, with a juke. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They go to Elliott again. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Wow. I'll tell you, he got a good spot on that one. It's 4th and 2, and he might have gotten 2 and an inch, but that's all he needed, and that'll keep the drive moving.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A give to Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 10th carry now for Elliott. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Big Al Woods there to make the tackle.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. This offense, #1 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up 1st downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage, where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Prescott. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away, maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack onto their lead as we get set for the fourth. The Cowboys on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3. Prescott from the gun. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down.
And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Extra point try by Bailey. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton able to drop him for a loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Here we go. 38.
Second down, Brissett. Right side, it's Hilton with a catch. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
Come on, let's go. 38. 38.
From the gun, here's Brissett. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe, because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Oh, good move. Oh, now he bowls him over. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly,
skyrocketed.
right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. A first down throw for Brissett. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. A second down throw for Brissett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Brissett. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Risky. And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it. Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a... And now the up man has it. It's a fake. Pushing his way through. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Dallas, they'll hit double digits with their 10th win of the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they dropped their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.